Yeah, just take the mic with you.
Oh, yes, we can see. Not that I've ever asked for parole, nor do I want to.
How familiar is it?
Yeah, I know. There's a lot about me you don't know. No. All right. Yeah. That's better.
There's a hammer.
Call to order the Town of Webster Conservation Committee meeting, May 26, 2026, 6 p.m. in the Board of Selectmen meeting room. You don't really have a lot on the agenda tonight. We're going to start with RDA, and which is 44 Lake Parkway. And can you read the
Yes.
Yeah, you got it.
In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, as amended, the Wetlands Protection Act, a public hearing will be held in a notice of intent filed by James Parslow, owners, and JRB Wetland Consulting representative to determine whether the construction of a grinder pump and sewer force main subservice to connect to municipal sewer line at 44 Lake Parkway in Webster, Mass. is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act and local wetland bylaw. The public hearing will be held in the Board of Selectmen meeting room, second floor, Webster Town Hall, 350 Main Street, Webster, Mass. on May 26, 2026 at 6 p.m. Any person interested in this application or wishing to be heard should appear at the time and place designated. For the Webster Conservation Commission, Richard Parent, Conservation Agent, published on 5/18/26.
Great, thank you. And we have a representative from JRB Wetland Consulting here. If you could just state your name for the record.
Sure, Joseph Bellino.
Great. And Rich, do you want to get us started, or?
Yeah, I just wanted to since we have some new members here, just the concept of an RDA versus an NOI. So, so I just to show you, so we have sort of three levels of areas that we work in. The administrative approval, which usually has very little as far as the any sort of conditions that we want to place on a project. So we've talked about those in the past. We haven't done a lot of RDAs recently, but an RDA, the idea here is to make a determination as to whether or not this is actually an NOI, right? I make an initial determination, and I think this is actually an RDA, which means it has some conditions, but it's not to the full-blown NOI stance. And in other words, probably the biggest difference is that this isn't put on to, it's not sent to DEP, so there's no comments from DEP. And there's no DEP number. So if you're ever out and you see projects going on, they could be actually an RDA, as was discussed before. So we can, you know what I'm saying? So you can actually see projects like this out there without an RDA number. Additionally, it doesn't go onto the homeowner's deed. So, so it's not stuck there until they come through the COC. Okay, so just to sort of get you an idea how this works. And so that's why when if you choose to, at the end, you're going to make a determination as to if a negative determination is actually good. It's actually an RDA. It means it is an RDA and it's going to stay an RDA. So that's why you want to make a motion that's a negative as opposed to positive. So a positive finding would mean that you'd want to elevate it to an NOI status.
And at that point, would the candidate have to come back because they'd have to reapply?
They'd have to reapply for an NOI, and that's a whole other set. They just do the whole process all over again.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So, yeah, so I was out at the site. I took lots of photos, and I don't understand why these photos are not here. Oh, I do, actually. I had a technical issue. It's going to come up several times because I've taken a lot of pictures, and they've all been lost. So it's very unfortunate, but this site is it's in an area that we don't usually deal with. But in the back, there actually is this little wetland back there. It was still wet. Literally, there's like a small pond in the back corner where it says wetland flag 7. that you can see back here. And there was another small ponding area here around wetland flag 10. Otherwise, it was connected, very, very moist soil or a small stream, if you will, kind of in all the other areas. So
Is
there,
there any sloping around that?
I'm sorry,
Is there any sloping around the wetland?
no, this is a very flat property.
That's what I thought, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
You can see there's actually a swimming pool here. These folks actually have a septic system, and they're looking to convert it and plug into the town's, which is always a better thing. So, Joe, please fill in anything I may have missed, and anything else you want to add to this project?
No, a good description of a good information as far as the RDA versus the notice of intent. I don't play these cards, but I did work for DEP for 37 years. 21 I spent in the wetlands program and also did some water supply work. And I think that an RDA, a request for determination, is appropriate for this project for a number of reasons. But the primary reason would be that the activity, we don't dispute that there's work within 100 feet of a wetland. That's obvious. The question we have to ask is the work likely to alter the wetland? And what we're simply doing is installing a sewer force main, almost, I would say, I think it's around 85 to 90 feet from the wetland, the closest wetland flag. And then from there, it's a grinder pump and then the sewer force main out to Lake Parkway, which is a win-win. This system is likely in failure, and it would be a significant undertaking to, construct a new septic system. It would probably have to be a mounted system. Would be very expensive, and that's if you have the opportunity to connect to the town sewer, then that abates any issue in terms of it's a really nice little wetland back there. I believe the driveway up to the middle school and high school it's at the back of the property, and there's a culvert underneath the driveway. Everything kind of flows in that direction towards the high school. Yeah, so it's toward, you really don't see the driveway, but, so yes, the RDA is simply, we acknowledge that we're within 100 feet of the wetland, but all we're doing is basically, connecting to the town sewer. There's very little earth disturbance, other than a trench to install the pipe. And it's, as you can see, once you make the little turn, then you're on 100 feet from the wetland. The last, say roughly 50% of the project is actually outside jurisdictional, the 100-foot buffer zone. So you can add conditions into a determination if the commission so desires. But I just think it's a round peg and a round hole to go with the RDA, and that we are in the buffer, but the work is not going to alter. So
Thanks, Joe.
happy to answer any questions anybody might have. I did do the delineation of the wetland. I did it actually in February, and I came back in May, and it was pretty spot on, I have to say. So it wasn't, we didn't get we had the first snowstorm. It was probably maybe 14 inches of snow on the ground, but I was able to locate what I needed to locate. And Rich saw my delineation, and I'm pretty confident in it. And I thank you for the opportunity to speak before the commission tonight.
Thanks, Joe. I'll just add to highlight the fact that this is actually an improvement that here you can actually see. It's hard to tell where the actual, so a septic system always has an area which it flows into, and it's called the leach field. That leach field is usually made up of sand, and there's microbes and bacteria that sort of consume all the effluent that comes, that's usually soluble, water soluble, because the tank, so if you understand how it works, tank is deep, all the sludge goes to the bottom, and then as water is added, it comes up to the top and flows out. So it's soluble materials that come out of that tank into a leach field. And that's when the microbial activity occurs and broken down and then it passes into the ground. So that's kind of how a leach field works. Here you can see that there's actually leach field. Usually you can see them rose up in mounds. You can really get a good figure as to where this leach field is. This leach field blends in perfectly into the ground because this entire back is very, very low. So it's very difficult to tell exactly where it is, but there was a slight aroma when you were back there, so you could tell that it probably was in failure. That's usually what you get, sort of an odor going on. So this really is an improvement. And you notice that the position of the leach field is actually right at or around the 50-foot mark. So,
Mr. Parslow, can you give me the definition of
can you
a
read
grinder?
to your microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Can you
can't hear
give
you.
me, I Googled it, but I want to know your definition of a grinder pump. I know what a pump is.
A
but
grinder pump. Well,
That's
I
what
would,
it says.
I'm not I know about a little bit about designing septic systems and, the percolation testing and stuff like that. But I believe all it is just a pump that's gonna, it's the gray water, whatever comes from the house, it can be just about anything. It has to get, I'm assuming there's some sort of a big garbage disposal, it's that type of system, subsurface.
Okay.
And then there has to be a
Yeah.
pump to
There's all kinds of pumps. It's an
That's what I'm
ejector
saying.
pump.
Yeah, there
What
has
is
to be a
grinder
pump.
pump? I know
It's-
pump.
to move the material
Okay,
to the,
okay.
to
It's
the,
a
to the
pump
sanitary
specifically
sewer.
for solids or sewer. So it could be a
Yeah.
cutter pump, it could be a grinder pump. But if it was a traditional pump, it would have to pass 3-inch solids. So instead of passing 3-inch solids, it grinds it up.
Yep.
And that's why the discharge, if you look, the discharge is only 1.5 inches versus a standard 4-inch lateral going up to the street. So really, they're only doing 1.5 inches, and I'm assuming shallow trench, fairly
Yeah,
shallow.
I would say so. There probably is some of it, it's probably on the detail. I would be, it's probably got to go below the frost line, so it's
Yeah.
got to be at least 4 feet down.
Yeah.
The other thing that is important to note is that this is just a leaching pit. So this is not it wouldn't pass Title V as it currently exists because these type of systems are very, very old. And if the homeowner had no option to connect to town sewer, then they would either have two options. Either they would install a raised septic system or install a tight tank. Those are your only two options. It's just nice that they have this option to connect to town sewer. They might be able to get a perk, but I still think, the elevation change between, say where the pit is, it's 502 and the wetland is down, it's 500. So I don't know, it's probably not much more than 4 feet. So I have a feeling when you design the system, you have to have, I believe it's 3-foot separation from mean annual high groundwater to the bottom of the system. You have to have at least 3 feet there. So that's going to mean that it has to be a mounded system, which is, it works, but it's just more expensive to construct. And then down the road, who knows what'll happen. So this is,
So where the ejector pump station, the grinder pump station's going there, that's where the existing septic tank was.
roughly,
Just-
yes.
In Webster, they crush them in place or fill them in, stone, whatever? How do they? Is it
There's
removed?
a decommissioning process which typically involves, they pump out whatever's there, and then they typically will backfill them with sand and gravel. That will be, Richard brought that point up to me, and I spoke to the design engineer, Pete Engel, and he said that it's his understanding that whoever does the job will seek that approval from the Board of Health.
Yeah, so the Board of Health does that, and she actually is on site, and what they do is they basically just drill a hole in the bottom of that
I didn't
tank.
know what Webster's
You can-
policy.
you can
Sometimes
Probably
they
are
fold
holes in the bottom.
sometimes-
already. You know, it's like a leaking underground storage tank, essentially. I mean, I would assume that I've seen leaching pits or leaching tanks that have holes on the bottom anyway. So, I mean, it's just. this
No,
is-
I just want to make sure no one, the top doesn't
Oh,
collapse. and
absolutely.
fall
No,
in.
it'll be, there's a process for decommissioning that through the process, yes.
And that's called out, I believe, in the drawing if you scroll up, I guess.
Where is it?
Go move the picture down so you can see up. No, the other way, sorry, Rich. See, septic tank and leach pit to be decommissioned per Title V regs.
Correct.
What kind of equipment are you going to be using?
I'm sorry?
What equipment?
Your mic.
What equipment will you be using?
To
Trench.
trench,
Yeah.
I'm assuming it would be a small excavator, I would think. Wouldn't be anything big. If not that, then they might be able to jack and sleeve the pipe under the ground. I'm not really sure. But it'll be limited to the amount of work could be just limited to the trench, basically. I mean, we're not going to have a huge excavator in there. It's not necessary. You only have to dig a very small trench. It'd probably be something really small, a small tractor or something, small backhoe, I'm
It's
guessing.
very similar to water. It's like that small. Like for as far as the pipe, it's going to be a roll of hose. Well, I say hose. It's going to be a roll of HDP that they're going to roll out down this trench.
And just in case there's any sort of spillage or anything, any accidents that occur, there is a straw wattle around the circumference of the project. Just to point that out. That's pretty much the only condition that I was planning on putting on this.
Straw wattles, yeah.
Yeah.
The pool is actually higher in elevation, that's why it ends right there. And then you have the foundation, so the pool actually kind of raises, it's an in-ground pool, but it kind of elevates up probably about 2-3 feet. Any other questions, folks?
Sure, I got one.
All right.
Do you still open it to you did?
It's not necessary, but you can,
Okay.
yeah. It's required for an NOI,
Okay.
yeah.
Open, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
For public comments, I didn't know if I needed to open and close,
okay.
or he said it's not required. So
Right.
Right.
I'm learning my job too. Does anyone else have any additional comments, questions?
Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, just, definitely dry weather, when they're doing this, and assuming probably a day or two, that we're not. doing
Absolutely.
Ripping in.
Yeah, that can
So
be,
I'd say dry weather and the straw wattle would be my only.
yeah, my guess is that, I know Jim, his father passed a number of years ago, and his mother lived there up till, I believe, last summer she passed away. So he basically just wants to sell the property, I assume, because he has to maintain, he has a house, he lives in Northbridge. So, in order to be able to sell the home, he has to deal with this issue. It's a significant issue.
It's for sale
So-
already.
And like I say, I can, he's a really nice guy. He's very conscientious. He wants to do the right thing.
Yeah, no, it's
I-
great. It's
he's-
another septic
he's-
system, not.
You know,
in the,
so I mean, if he has any questions on anything, I could advise him on, obviously if we're getting a tropical storm and not the
Yeah.
time you want to be doing this.
No, just
So,
a flat lot. So
and-
just
yeah,
put it in dry weather.
I mean,
That's fine.
So I think it's pretty low risk and pretty straightforward, really.
Okay, so this would be,
Negative determination.
if that's what you
I
choose,
motion
yeah.
we give a negative.
I just need a
determination.
motion. What would
I
you
need
like
a
to
motion, we
motion?
do negative.
Okay. So first,
With
are
the,
you giving the motion or are you?
Yeah, I just gave it.
Okay, first by
I'll second.
Ms. Jewell, second by Mr. Tarbox. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes 4-0.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Nice meeting you.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
I rent grinder pumps.
What?
I rent pumps.
Okay, yeah.
We actually just put the grinders into our fleet. Just because it's like, kind of a weird, it's like a homeowner thing.
Yeah. No, I know different pumps, but I hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah. Sometimes they're also referred to a cutter pump.
That's what I read.
And but really it's a grinder.
Thanks, guys.
Fine.
It's two
I'll be in
metal
touch.
plates
Yeah.
sliding across, so it's acting like scissors.
Yeah.
But I think it could also be considered grinding.
Right.
So it's kind of a, anywho, all right, we have NOI, which we don't have,
88
No.
Union,
what's that?
for 88 Union.
For 88 Union, we are going to, no, is this, no, that's the next one, right?
Continuance?
Can ask for an update.
Yes, give us an update.
So 88 Union, these folks are looking to do some more work on their plans. There's been a lot of back and forth as to what's actually required of them for what the project that they're proposing that we heard initially. And but DEP has given a number for 323-1312, but they have asked for a continuance to 09 June.
And again, that's DEP 323-1312.
Correct. With new plans and updates for the next time we meet.
Okay, so I need a motion to continue that to 6/9.
Motion to continue to 6/9.
First by Mr. Tarbox, second by Mr. Avery. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. And next, could you please read our announcement?
In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, as amended, the Wetlands Protection Act, a public hearing will be held on a notice of intent filed by Thomas Fallon, owners, and Zachary Glass, representative, to determine whether the demolition of two single-family houses and construction of a new family house at 104-106 Lakeside Ave in Webster, Mass., Assessor ID 40-A-4, is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act and local wetland bylaw. The public hearing will be held in the Board of Selectmen Meeting Room, second floor, Webster Town Hall, 350 Main Street, Webster, Mass., on Tuesday, March 26, 2026 at 6 p.m. Any person interested in this application or wishing to be heard should appear at the time and place designated. For the Webster Conservation Committee, Richard Parent, Conservation Agent, published on 5/4/26.
Thank you. And this one, go ahead, why don't you give us the,
Okay, so I went out to this site last Friday. I have plenty of photos. Some of the site details, while they came in hard copies, we didn't get the electronic copy till today, so those are just recently uploaded. And there's no DEP number, so Zach decided, given that the short notice as far as the commission's ability to sort of review all the materials, as well as no DEP number, that he requested a continuance to 09 June.
great, thank you. So I need a motion to continue that to 6/9.
I make a motion to continue that to 6/9.
I second.
First by Mr. Avery, second by Ms. Jewell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Action items. Could you give us an update on 71 Minebrook?
Yeah, so 71R in Minebrook, this project, most of you guys have seen before. It was slated to come back up last meeting to kind of keep this ball moving on this project. I haven't gotten any response from Matt Morrow.
Are we
on-
rounding a corner here? I mean, this has been years.
I know. So that's kind of the idea here, to sort of wrap this thing up. Again, I can't do anything more than, reach out. So I will reach out again. My suggestion is that we continue this at least to the next meeting. If not, I want to go out 2 meetings, but
Do you think we could just send a certified letter just to
We
say,
have.
hey, reach out to us?
We have.
Just need an update?
yeah, I could try. Yep,
And then we know we at least received it versus a phone call or an email.
that's fair. Yep.
Well, 'cause, it was about 6 months to a year ago that Joey said he actually reached back to him,
Mm-hmm.
but this
Yeah, I
is
remember. Oh, yeah.
ongoing.
We just wanna
No,
close
and
it
it's
out.
a very important area because there's a lot of wetlands around it, and it's also a dump site. So it was really great that we got involved.
But I think he did the work, I think, for
It's
the most part.
substantially
It's just-
clean, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of us certifying
Yeah.
it, good to go.
Yeah.
And so,
Right.
I mean, now it's actually probably a better time because it's had another full year of
And it's also, too-
Vegetation.
Yeah, and also too, there's not too much vegetation yet. If we wait till July, then
Right.
it's kind of hard to see what he's done.
Okay, so we're gonna continue that to 6/9?
Yeah, when we do that, and then I'll give you an update as to when we actually have a firm date or he'll be here.
Okay, can I have a motion to continue that to 6/9?
Motion to continue to 6/9.
First by Mr. Tarbox,
Second?
second by Mr. Avery. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 22 Pattison Road.
Okay, so we have this COC is sort of a classic example of a project which was done, completed, they thought it was all done, then they're going to go sell their house, and all of a sudden they realize there's something on their deed, which is exactly the reason why we put these on deeds, so we make sure that things are closed out. So that's kind of the purpose of an NOI. They thought it was done, it wasn't, so I went over there, I took some photos, I can show those to you. I should have had those up and going, my apologies.
How old is this project, Rich?
I think the original project goes back 2 years ago.
Yeah, not bad. It's a couple of years ago. I remember when that we were in the, Ray came in. It's not that long.
Okay.
Because they tore down a house and then they tore it down and then they built another one.
Sorry. So this is the shoreline development. So yeah, it was 2017 when this was originally conducted.
So more like 9 years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah.
God. You came up.
Okay. So requiring Chapter 91, did it have any of the like stipulation in as-built drawings or nothing
Yeah.
we got away with? Good.
Nothing like that. This was pretty much just just the backyard was redone, and I have lots of pictures here to show you it. So this area right here was built. It's like a patio. There was a wall, this wall right here, well back from the water. There was no as-built on this project. It's kind of around the corner on the side. This is the wall that you just saw. So now we're over on the north side. And then this is sort of up on their deck, looking down, so you can kind of see the wall and the patio and all of this material up here. So that's pretty much, this is probably the best view looking down that I could actually get. I think I had one more. Yeah, so that was the left side and this is the right side of the project. And so you kind of see it doesn't infringe at all on the lake. It's right where it's supposed to be as far as when you look at the site maps. And yeah, I thought it was.
Can I assume this is not the one we communicated about this week,
What did we communicate this week?
that I sent pictures of?
Oh,
the shore?
actually it is not, but it is the same owner who's building the other one.
Okay, different property though.
Different property. So they're basically sold this property and they're moving 2 houses down,
Okay.
which you saw. I actually visited that site. You saw Glenn's response. So yeah, so there was a notice that there was one of the erosion controls had sort of fallen down right on the lake. There were some nice photos taken, and I emailed Glenn. Glenn communicated with the contractor. It was immediately fixed. 2 days later, this past Friday, I went out there and looked at it. It was perfectly fine. So,
Good. Thank you.
yeah.
So no special conditions in the order of conditions, just a standard order of conditions. And
You can review it if you'd like.
No.
I included them.
Yeah.
But I thought they were just pretty straightforward. Nothing we've. Oops.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see what they were.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I just want to make sure that in the past, there was some language that we eliminated.
Yeah, so this is it right here on the special conditions that you would see. You want me to read all of
No,
this?
you're good. You're
I
good.
don't see any conditions yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We made him file this on the deed? Oh, no.
There we go.
There we go.
Maybe.
it's erosion controls.
Oh, no, hang on.
It's all about, it's all about construction. And then there is actually a line about post-construction. Where to place them, how to place them.
So it's like sequence. Try.
See, within 30 days of completion. Seating of the areas, there's really very little seating.
Grade of the wall, the height of the wall.
What are the ones that are crossed out?
So typically what these are conditions which would be utilized all the time, and what the agent would do is sort of cross out what's not applicable. So there's this term called the standard order of conditions that are used, and so they'll just constantly use those standards and just cross things out.
Okay.
And project-specific special conditions, this is
Indicated
it. So usually special conditions come at the truly special, this word was used multiple times, special conditions. Special conditions typically should be outside of the normal conditions, and they speak to things that aren't covered in the normal conditions,
Okay.
right? And here, there's nothing up above that talks about turbidity curtains. And so here it's specifically talking about turbidity as indicated by the plan.
Okay.
And that, in essence, there's no, this, and oftentimes too, today, I put in things in perpetuity, such as chapter 91, and other things.
Great, thank you.
So would I take from this the thing that at this late date, we would care about, or the height of the wall from the house side, right? It said needs to be 3 to 6 inches above the slope, something like that.
Yep, and it's all,
And the
yeah,
vegetation.
there's no vegetation.
There's no vegetation?
Yeah, you saw it, right? It's like,
It's the whole bluestone and.
well, actually, there is some vegetation here,
Yeah.
but,
It's a nice wall.
Beautiful.
Not traditional grass, I guess.
yeah. So, yeah, it's this sort of little area right here. And
I guess
There's
that would probably
nothing-
just mean, the ground is stabilized where
Yeah.
it isn't covered with stone.
right, that's why I tried to show, like, I tried to get a view from the lake side. I mean, I didn't step down here and take a look, but it looked like it was any erosion pulling away.
Looks good. Okay, does anyone have any additional questions or, okay, then I need a motion.
Motion to approve or issue
Issue
a
the
condition of
COC.
compliance,
Yeah.
certificate of compliance.
First by Mr. Tarbox,
Second.
second by Ms. Jewell. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. And we have one additional COC, and this one is going to have another story.
Yeah.
We're trying to get through the old ones.
Yes.
That was 9 years.
Yikes.
Okay, so this one has a rather interesting story that was uncovered. So back in 22, so January 4th of 22, Mary, a previous agent, wrote these conditions as it related to this home at 23 Lakeview Road. But back then, it was a lot. So the number hadn't been assigned yet. So the site maps don't show actual addresses. They just show lot 4 on the drawing. And some point, the numbers were assigned and were messed up. And it was never caught. But these conditions exist on 23 Lakeview Road. And there is another 23 Lakeview Road. To add to this, these were extended in November 5th of 24 by this board. And then there was an amendment on 12/4/25 to add to it, sort of continuing this
Who owns
incorrect
this?
address.
Because I don't remember by the address, but I remember it by the name.
They came in and it was we basically they were adding something to it. Was it
Yeah.
like a shed or something?
So this is Nick's property.
Hopkins?
Yeah.
What was the?
Oh,
what were
wait
they
a minute.
adding? They were
Okay.
adding something.
I'm forgetting exactly what the project was. I just sort of went to the details.
Yeah, okay, but I do remember it coming.
The
before
bottom line
us
is
with
this, so I've been through
I remember
lawyers
now.
and DEP to find out how to fix this. And so what is being recommended to me is that we actually go ahead and close this out on this one that's assigned to 23, and then go into DEP's e-file system and actually modify it so that it actually shows 21 Lakeview.
Okay, so question. Then that's where he was building a couple of houses. And then again, that makes sense that there wasn't an absolute address. Is there anything on that property now? And like.
No. But this will now be applied to his property. The question is how do we get that? Who's going to pay for this assignment to be put onto their deed? This new, because we're modifying it and now we're going to ask Nick to go,
Wouldn't Nick
residents
do
at
it?
21 Lakeview to go and
Who owns the property?
21 Lakeview?
What we're talking about?
But was it his? Did he sell
No,
it? to
he
them?
didn't. No, he didn't. He never owned this.
Oh,
23. It was incorrectly assigned to 23.
It's over my head. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, and now these folks are looking to sell. And all of a sudden they found this on theirs and it's not theirs, essentially.
Well, if anybody wants to get, I mean, he may have to take, someone's gonna pay.
I know. So it'd probably be the town who's going to end up paying. But
Why?
because it's a town's error.
Oh, okay.
That's my
But that's
opinion.
not our.
But it's not for us to
concern.
discern, no.
Yeah, right, okay.
That's, it's just a filing fee for filing it on
Registry of Deeds,
registry of deeds. So it's really, I can't even remember, $75 or something.
something like that.
This is the place where Michelle got into the big fight with Nick and his son, right?
I don't want to make comments on that. I don't, and I don't
This
remember.
was something- Yeah, this was
Before
different.
my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
So all I need is just technical, take care of this technicality of closing out this one, and I will take care of the modification so that it's done.
So
Okay.
for the project that was actually done, do we need to look at anything about that to close it out?
No, it's
It's
not
still
being
open.
closed.
We just extended it.
No, okay,
Right.
so
No.
technically we are closing it on 23.
Yeah,
I am then going to go in and modify it to be 21. So in DEP's eyes, and DEP also knows and has notes internally that that's what's happening. So,
and once that happens, we'll have the opportunity to review it again?
correct.
Okay,
So when I'm closing, so I'm actually going to close it because the work has not been done. So there's a way of me being able to select that, this is being closed because no work was done, that tells DEP that this is the way they wanted it.
Okay,
And then this other one actually has work done and it'll be reassigned to 21, I'm sorry.
if we're ready, I'm happy to make a motion.
Okay.
Go ahead. Motion to close for 23 Lakeview.
Do we want to do a motion to reassign it, or do we,
No,
so just one motion?
I would just add, close it with no work having been done.
With no work having been done.
First by Mr. Tarbox,
Second.
second by Mr. Avery. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, I think. Good luck.
Sorry. This is thrown in my lap.
I mean, it makes sense, though. I mean, when you have 4 lots and they're not assigned, and it's just,
It was similar to the Connecticut thing, the Black Road, remember that thing?
Black Point.
They would change the number, once or two before it was all
Yeah.
regular.
it's crazy that we're just catching it. I mean, this is 3, 4, yeah. Get better. All right, we have draft minutes to approve. Did everyone have a chance to read the draft minutes from April 13th and 27th?
Yes.
Okay, is everyone fine? We'll just make a motion to, does anyone have any changes?
I only have one question.
One
May
question.
not need to be on there. On the first of those 2 meetings, he and I were getting sworn in and missed the beginning piece, and then we did the Mullins form. Do we need to note on the next meeting that we had done the Mullins form? Or is that just taken care of by the fact, on those meeting notes? Or is that just taken care of by the fact?
Okay,
that-
so Mullins are usually when I do the fact finding, when I'm writing orders of conditions, I have to highlight all of the technical things that went into approving it, like when we open the meeting, when we close the meeting, and anything like what you were just talking about. So
Okay.
I note that it is documented there.
Okay,
Because it's
I
actually,
didn't know if it needed
it's
to be
not
in
part of the
minutes.
minutes per se.
okay, fine.
But it shows that you actually have, and I also, attendance is tracked as well.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Okay, then I need, well, we'll do them one at a time.
Motion to
Motion
accept the
to,
minutes for April 13th and April 27th.
okay. First by Mr. Tarbox
Second.
and second by Mr. Avery. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0 to approve the draft minutes for April 13th and 27th.
excellent.
Staff updates.
So I made sure that okay. So there are several projects which are taking place in and around town. These are projects which are, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. So I have on here 114 Worcester Road. This is the junkyard, which some of you may recall is across from the paintball, just up the road from what was that saloon? Saloon 6. Putting 6 before the saloon. So it's right, it's opposite Saloon 6 on the other side of the road, if you're familiar with that area. There is sort of a junkyard which had many, many years. It was an issue. The town has worked with Mr. Lemusco to solve this. It was actually sold, and now he's looking for renewing his license. And Joey, in previous meetings, this commission agreed upon a phase approach to clean up. Timber harvest, so he was actually filed with the Massachusetts to be able to do some selective timber harvesting. After walking that site, he realized that he was surprised at the condition of that site still. Joey and I have been trying to get a hold of this gentleman to go in and do another site visit. There's going to be something that's going to happen from this, but I just wanted to give you an update that we are trying to get a hold of Mr. Lemusco. I actually wrote his attorney today.
So we're nowhere close to
We're nowhere
phase one?
close, but the materials that we provided to the Massachusetts regarding the selective timber harvest resulted in a negative determination. So he's not allowed to actually do any sort of timber harvesting until our enforcement order which supersedes anybody else's thing. So I just want to give you an update on that. So that's kind of the way enforcement orders are supposed to work. That you're locked into completing those,
And it was caught.
and it was caught. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
That worked.
it did.
That's amazing.
National Grid has come to us looking to do some late spring mechanical controls of foliage treatment. So I'm actually going to go on a site visit tomorrow, and this is actually going to turn into an RDA. Initially, I thought this was just going to be, because we already had one where you sort of repeat it over and over again. It's just sort of common nature what they do along their corridor.
Where is this?
National Grid, it's their power lines. There's a map.
Did you
Which
put it in the minutes?
I can provide to you, but we've previously approved it. They're just letting us know, and actually by state regulation, they don't even need our approval. So they can just go and spray their power lines. It's just something that happens every year. I don't know if you don't recall this, Robin. I don't know if Joey may not even,
No, I remember.
I feel like he's
National
always just sort of passed it.
We approved, but they were actually putting mats. and
No,
doing
they
the
did come,
wetlands.
but I'm just wondering the area that they're gonna, just everywhere, or is it up on near Commerce where they have that line of,
They gave me a map. To me, it looked like all their power lines. They highlighted all of them.
okay, well, yeah, if they get harmed by insects, we're all in trouble, so I guess whatever.
It's,
But
it's,
at the same
it's
token,
so-
you wanna make sure the wetlands aren't affected.
Mm.
If they don't need our approval, why are we?
no, I'm just a staff update. I'm just giving you updates. There's no
Okay.
voting here. I'm just letting you know that I've been informed of this, and so I'm informing you of this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you
Um,
possibly put that back in the website so I can, I just like to see it?
Yeah, I
'Cause
can
do
pop that in
remember
there.
it, But not
Sure.
clearly.
The Providence Worcester Railroad 2026 Vegetation Control Program. This is when I started talking. I sort of got ahead of myself on this. This is the one that actually is going to turn into an RDA, and you'll see it at the next meeting. Initially, I thought this was one that was going to be just, we just letting us know that they're repeating the process. But in fact, it's expired our RDA. And so I'll be going out and walking the sites. And I've even got offered to see the entire corridor by rail car. I said that wasn't necessary. I just wanted to see an example of the area. So I'll show it to you what they're doing and kind of get an idea. If that's okay with you. I don't know if you want me to
That would've
video.
been cool, though.
I think we should make him take a rail car ride.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Everybody downstairs said the same
He's
thing.
got plenty of time.
I said, I don't have that kind of time.
We can watch the video too.
I can-
Okay, so
I can-
we're going to actually see that with an RDA. You'll have pictures.
Yes.
and- Okay, great.
Okay.
All right.
Otherwise, there was no administrative approvals at all, but there has been a lot of forms went out, so I expect a lot next time. And that's pretty much it for staff updates.
Great. I just wanted to bring up the meeting materials. Is everybody, I think we have that cleaned up now. Everyone was able to access everything. We'll just have to check with Pam and.
Yeah, I mean, the email that you sent today, that link I couldn't follow, but
Yeah.
I don't need
had
to, so.
Yeah, and I actually couldn't follow that link the second time I tried it, but then I went back to the previous email and tried that link and it
Right.
got me in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I'll play
favorite
with it a little
favorite
bit.
that and just always use that. I won't
That's-
include it anymore.
Yep.
But yeah, the timeliness of stuff, because I don't feel like I've been prepared.
So
I'll come back, I don't want to inconvenience anybody. I'll
Robin,
go to the town hall. which is
that
perfectly-
folder, I update immediately. So
Yeah.
when you see it, I see it. Well, shortly after I see it, you see it.
Yeah,
So you can look at that anytime. I will send it out. So even on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, if you want to see if there's any been updates.
I'd love it if it was on a Tuesday.
Go right ahead. That's my point.
Yeah,
You
So
can
as
look
he
at-
gets documents, he's saying he's putting it in,
I'm
and now
putting it
you
in.
have access.
So
So basically,
regardless of
Absolutely,
the
that's
timing
all,
of
yeah.
your email,
Correct.
the stuff's
I will
there.
always
some
make
of
sure
the
that the
stuff might be there.
I will
Yeah.
always make sure that the email has all the materials that you would need for the meeting. So that's sort of my deadline. So that Thursday, Friday timeline is when it should be in there. Okay?
When is the agenda finalized?
Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
48 hours before the meeting.
Okay.
The agenda is 48 hours before the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just as long as it takes, maybe you people are a lot smarter than I am, but it takes me a while to go through plans. Doesn't take
Understood.
mine to go through them, but I look at all the stuff, you
Yeah.
know,
So when you have questions about stuff and you want me to tell you, like you were asking about site plans that were missing, I
Right.
can simply tell you that I don't have them. I mean, I had the hard copies and we have a machine which prints them off, but our administrator, the person who helps us out doing that just came back today. So I had no way of actually getting them.
No,
And on top of
today
that,
I
they're
called
not very
you.
good.
I called you and it was fine. You don't have them, you can't put them up.
Right.
But I did have difficulty with the flub the dub when it was the day before. It's the flub the dub happens, but if you did it on Tuesday or Wednesday, then you have a little more time.
Agreed.
To fix,
Yeah.
so that we all get the
And
information.
they're aware of that. So I'm communicating that to them. And I
Yeah.
had communicated that to those folks.
That's
and
it. I
nothing
just don't
happened.
want to come in here and not be prepared.
Completely-
And this is serious stuff.
I
This is
completely
our
agree.
right.
And
This
it would be a
is-
reason to postpone because
Yeah.
they're negligent in getting us the material.
Yep.
So,
Well, that's it. Even though that's the applicant, and again, there is some grace, but some grace, because this is their responsibility. But it's up to us to say, you got to get it here, or you haven't, I mean, we spent, me, Dan, Karen, whether you like it or not, and who was your predecessor, not the other one, on doing the website. Everything is on that website of what they should be including. With a lot of, and then you and Joey finished it up. But it is there, what they gotta, and Cam Smith did a lot of 2 cents in that. But, I mean, they know what they should bring, this tolerance, and then if they didn't give it to us by a deadline, they can't be seen. You know, come back, and then they get mad if they come again. Well, if you didn't give us all the stuff, that's clearly there now. In the past, it was not there.
Yep.
And got your neighbor, Cammie, says, you know, if I had known it in the beginning, so we put a lot of work into that website. But once, if you don't have it, we can't be prepared. We can't give an intelligent decision,
right.
you know, so.
Yeah, I think if there's anything that's going to be last minute, if you think it's simple enough for us to review and possibly approve, I mean, I think that would be the language I've included this project. We received it late. If you have a chance to review it, if not, it'll be continued. And, you know, as long as you let us know, hey, it's in there, but, you know, we could just push this.
Yeah,
Or-
not to bring up, you know, Mary was here only part-time, but she was notorious for putting things at 4:00 in the afternoon. And that's what we really worked hard to avoid,
Oh.
because we didn't have time to review it.
Yeah, and I think Rich has been pushing people off. There was that one that I think was late. They tried to turn it in late and push it through, and we tried, you know, but they didn't have everything.
Right. So
Okay,
there's a
That was
requirement.
my only point with that note to you.
There's
Yeah.
a requirement that we're under that we have to actually put people onto the agenda when they submit the application, regardless of materials that are missing. So that's why
No, and I
they're,
appreciate that knowledge. Thank you.
I can't,
Yeah.
it's a state law that requires me to
Yeah.
put them on. They have they have to be on the agenda within 21 days. So being that we meet every 2 weeks, usually it's the next meeting.
Yeah.
And that's when we cancel a meeting, why it becomes, they have to agree to change it versus.
Correct.
Man, too, and I have a joy. You guys, I think, have engineering, but like when I
But
think
they're
of
the ones,
myself,
they're the ones who are, you know, delaying the decision by 2 weeks if they're not
Prepared.
prepared.
yeah. No, but I enjoy looking at plans now because I used to look at them and what the hell is all this? Wait, this looks fine to me.
It's fair.
So now I dissect it and I have fun doing it.
I think the only other staff thing I forgot to add was last time I told you I had spoke to one of our recommended folks for the award, the conservation award. I have an email out to the second person who was, I kind of got a consensus people were interested in. So I'll be speaking to that person hopefully this coming week as well. So hopefully next week, the plan would be to have some plans to vote on that and have an email out to you folks to vote on these recommendations.
There was one other thing, the staff updates, your approvals, your administrative approvals. Did we get any further on that, an answer on that?
Correct. So essentially, what I've been told is that anytime, anytime people, we're going to talk about their properties, they have to know ahead of time. So the way I addressed that, and I think I brought this up at the last meeting, was that I've amended the administrative approval so that there's a line in there that basically says that you will be on the agenda for the next meeting. So that
Awesome.
allows us to actually mention their address at the next meeting.
Great.
That makes sense?
Awesome. Everyone happy with that? Great. Thank you.
So,
Awesome. I think there's only one last thing to do. Can I have a motion?
I wish we.
We adjourn? I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting closed 6:52, 5:26. Thank you, guys.